Good evening, Chef. Today's pairing is actually taking place in my wood shop in the basement because as of right now, it's the quietest place in my house. Uh, and we are going to be pairing up a Cabernet and a Chardonnay with two cheeses. The first one is a Taliggio, and the second is the Bosquito. I already tasted the wines, as you suggested. The Cabernet is a 2013 Cabernet Sauvignon. It is, I'll just go through my chart here. For the color, is garnet, very, very dark. This is it right here. You can see. Um, the dominant fruit families in it, definitely cherries, blackberries. As far as any blue, fig, raisin, slight, nothing much. Um, Also, as far as it being tart, I'd say it's a little slight. Ripe, actually very dominant. Overripe, jammy, cooked, not so much. Baked, dried, oxidized, it's dominant. As far as the non-fruit qualities, flowers didn't really get too much of a floral smell in it. Vegetable, slight, but kind of weird. I kind of did taste a little bit of spinach in there, so I'm not sure where that's coming from. Fresh or dried herbs, mint, so on. Not really. I would say slight to none on that. Peppercorn, yes, I thought it was dominant. It was a little bit of a peppery taste to it. Um, Smokiness, a little. Actually, I'm sorry, smokiness was dominant with that oak flavor as well. I did taste a little bit of leather in there, and a little balsamic too. As far as the organic earth, I would say it was dominant. It kind of had that musty type taste and a little bit of a smell to it as well. Not so much earthy. Oak was dominant in there. As far as the structure, it was off dry. The tannin was moderate, acid moderate, and alcohol moderate. Overall, I think it's pretty good. And then the Chardonnay, I had a 2012 from Monterey County Chardonnay, Hess Select. I actually had this earlier in the week, it was pretty good. Um, as far as its color, yellow, apple, and pear were pretty dominant in there. Citrus, I tasted lemon and lime. Uh, Not so much pitted. Tropical, pineapple, mango was in there. Melon, not so much. Not so much tart. Ripe, yes, extremely ripe. Overcooked jammy, not really. Uh, Baked or dominant, not so much. Everything else was pretty much none until you get down to the yeast dough, baked and bread. Yes, very much so. Very buttery, creamy. That was dominant. Organic earth, not so much. Not so much of the rock or mineral stone. Oak, yes. Obviously, with it being a Chardonnay, very, very oaky. Its structure, bitter finish, not really. Sweetness was dry, acidic high, and alcohol was high. Uh, Actually, I really do like this wine. It's pretty good. So as far as the cheeses, like I said, I have a Mosquito, which is, I'll show you my cheeses right there. And right here is the Mosquito. And I also have Taleggio, which is right here. The soft one right there. And yes, they are very pungent. The Mosquito obviously has the truffles infused with the truffles, so you get that truffle smell in there. And the Taliggio kind of smells like 30 feet. I play hockey, so it's a little smells kind of like a hockey bag as well. So these have been sitting out for an hour. As suggested, so I'm going to go ahead and try a little bit. Mm, Definitely very creamy truffle flavor, very intense. I finished though on it. It was kind of sharp. It's interesting. It kind of starts off creamy, very pungent with the truffle, but then as you finish it, um, it lightens up a little bit. Let's see here, Taliggio, go ahead and try that one next. As you can see, here, creamy. Go ahead and try a little bit of this. It's just me down in my wood shop, so I'm going to eat right off the knife here. Very creamy, sharp as well. So I'm going to try it first with the Cabernet. The Cabernet cuts through that sharpness. It definitely makes it a little bit creamier. Interesting. I think the sharpness kind of cuts through the acidic and kind of alcohol finish of the wine. The fruits in it go very well with the cheese, especially that blackberry and cherry taste. I think they pair well together. I think the two by themselves are very strong, but together they balance each other out, which is what you're definitely looking for when pairing the cheeses. Next, I'll try the truffle with the cab. I'm not really sure if I'm a fan of this one. So again, very intense truffle flavor and smell. I mean, you put it in your mouth and you just automatically feel it right in your nose. But then as it goes down, it becomes very subtle and creamy. It's almost like the truffle flavor just leaves, and then you have the taste of the cheese at the end, kind of finishing in the back of your mouth. Interesting with the cab, when I first was tasting it, it felt like it brought that truffle flavor right back, almost as if I was trying to cheese again. And then as the wine went down, the truffle flavor went away as well. Very interesting. And it kind of, the intense flavor of the cheese with the truffle kind of masks the fruitiness of the wine. Very overpowering. I don't think I would pair these two together, the cab and the Taliggio. I'm sorry, the Cabernet and or the Taliggio. I'm sorry. All right, so now we're gonna go with the Chardonnay. Might as well start with the truffle since I have that flavor in my mouth again. Once again, right off the bat, intense truffle flavor. You swallow it, you get that creaminess, almost a little smokiness too. Wow. Now with the cab, you don't really get that intense truffle flavor again, like I did with the Cabernet. I think the Chardonnay with the oak flavor and the truffle blend very well together. The Cabernet kind of helps with making the truffle not so intense. I think the two marry really well together. Tones it down a lot. Very good. I definitely would pair these two together. Now the Taliggio. Creamy, sharp, buttery. Very smooth as it goes down. Interesting. Now with the Cabernet, as the Taliggio went down, it wasn't as very, very creamy. It was kind of sharp to start, then the sharpness went away, creamy as it went down. With the Chardonnay, as the Chardonnay was going down, it felt like it brought that sharpness back up from the cheese. Very interesting with how these cheeses are pairing with one another. I definitely would pair both of these cheeses with the Chardonnay over the Cabernet. If someone was asking me which one, I would say go with Chardonnay. With these two particular cheeses, the marriage of the two is very, very good, especially the truffle cheese. Not a big fan of that, but with the wine, I think I could tolerate it. The oakiness of the wine definitely balances those two together. Very good. I can still actually taste the cheese after drinking the wine, and it's been some time now since I swallowed it. It's very good. So overall, I think the Chardonnay I would pair with these two cheeses. The Cab, not so much after trying the Chardonnay. It'd be my number one choice. All right, thank you, and enjoy the evening.